Hello. Alright, so welcome back to another session. We last left off, I think, building our game into an actual file. Let me see if I can actually find it. Oh no, I think I removed it. But essentially, I think I did demonstrate it, so I think we're good. Hold on, let me check on something. Yeah, alright, cool. So let's see what else we're gonna do now. So we did, I think I already saw this, add text. It's currently viewing it. So to, if I wanted to build my game again, I have to remember that you go to File, Build Settings, and then click on Standalone. And I guess depending on what your settings are, you mess around with these, but I don't know any of them. So then you just click Build and Run, and then just click on the folder or the directory that you wanted to place the project, and then it'll pop up. And yeah, but I'm not going to do that again. So it seems like the next thing we're going to do here is going to be a quiz. So let's see if I remember still. Where is the following UI element? Where is the following in the blue background? Anchored. Where is it anchored? So where is this part anchored at? So if we click on this, it seems like it's highlighting this point right here, this anchor. Unless that's something else, but to the center of the canvas is what I'm thinking. I don't know about this one. Oh, it is to the center. Oh, alright, cool. Look at the two screenshots. Which anchor preset from number 1 is currently being applied in the higher button text object in image 2? Which one's being applied? So number 1 is doing a stretch in the top side. So I guess this button will elongate. Oh wait, it's asking which one is used, which one is applied for to the higher button. Well, it's not stretch. I think it'd be either 2 or 4. So 4 is doing, I think 4 is the center, or is it left? I can't really tell, but I'm assuming this is 4 right here. So 4 is the center, I guess, center top? Is that what it's trying to do? And number 2 is just right in the middle. And then saying, where is this being anchored? Huh. I did mine differently. I think I anchored it differently. So if we go here, let's look at the anchor. It's currently in the center middle. So let's just go with that. So it's number 2. Incorrect. Let's just custom. Then is it 4? So it's either 2 or 4. Oh. It was actually a stretch? Really? Is it 3? It's 3, huh? I guess I never knew that. Let me double check. They use stretch. I didn't even pay attention to that. So just a reminder, so wherever we place the anchor point in when we set our object relative to a specific anchor point, it's gonna try to maintain that distance from the anchor point. So what he showed just a moment ago, where he had the anchor point here and the button, or for the button, he had the anchor point here, and even though we were extending the screen was getting bigger, but the distance still stayed the same from the button to the left side, the bottom left side of the screen. I just didn't know that they used stretched. Yeah, they moved it towards the right side. They didn't say 3. That's odd. They didn't do stretching. That's kind of weird. I don't know. When we play the game and click the lower button, nothing happens. Why is that? Let's see, because no function is applied on the on-click method. We have not provided the appropriate sprite image. No. Navigation is set to automatic. I don't even know what that means. We have not assigned. Yes, the button needs a material. Oh. Cool. Which package can we use to make our font look nicer than the default? Text Mesh Pro. Cool. Let's debug some code. Why won't this code work as expected? Public void, load next scene, take an integer, scene manager, get active scene, you get the index of the active scene, so returns an integer, and then you want to load scene from current scene. Why are we adding 1? We want to add the current value, I think. We have forgotten to add a semicolon. Nope. Scene manager should. Nope. We have forgotten to add a return type. No, that's not. The name of the declared variable is different. Oh, right. I see that. Right. I even fell for it. Why do we use serialized field in front of our variables when declaring them? To make our variables global so that they can be used by any script, because it is often quicker, easier to make changes to our variables in the inspector. Yeah. To declare that that our variables are private to a specific class, because it ensures that the variable is attached as a component to the relevant parent game object. I think it's this one. It ensures that the variable is attached as a component to a relevant parent game object. No, I think we use serialized field, or I think the reason why they use serialized field is because it helps us kind of view or change I guess variables so that we can see what the difference is, and it's also good for debugging too. Alright, so let's check this out. Yes. Debug this code. We are trying to trigger on press higher from a button press, but it is not working. Why? Public. It needs to be public. I learned that from one of my mistakes. So we have forgotten to add semicolon after. Nope, we don't need that for a method. We always need to declare our min variable within the scope of the method. It is currently out of scope. Nope, it is scope. So it is, the min value was instantiated as a global variable. So, or not instantiated, but it was declared as a global variable. So it's definitely not out of scope. We have forgotten to add a return type. In this case, we're not returning anything, so we don't need a return type. So now the answer was this one. We have forgotten to add the public access modifier at the start of our method. When displaying our guest to the player, why do we need to use toString and not just display our integer as it is? I'm not entirely sure. I guess because, well, the object, this object here is a text mesh pro object, right? If we look at the script for it, this one, right? If we look at the script, we'll see that the text mesh pro guest text, we can only, like this text, like to alter the text, first of all we need to access its property, and we do it using the dot operator and then the property value, which is the text, our variable, and then we assign it to the similar type as the property that we want, in this case text. So text is also a string variable. We can't assign an integer to a text. Well, I'm not sure about C#, but I think you can do it in Java, I think, where it just automatically gets converted to a string. I know you can do that in Python, maybe? I don't know. You know what? Ignore whatever I just said. Alright, but I do know that the reason why I needed to have a toString is because the text property can only be assigned string values, in which case our integer wasn't. So to avoid the issue where our number has too many, nope, it doesn't really matter how many decimal, and we don't even use decimal place for this one. Because we are presenting both words and numbers in our guest box and need a way to combine those values. We are using a text field so we can make our guest font look pretty, and our text field requires data as a string. That seems more to what I was thinking, so that we can confuse the player, you know, keep them guessing on their toes, so to speak. I mean, they don't even know that the user won't even know that we're using this. So it's not this one, and it's definitely not that one. Because we are presenting both words and numbers in our guest box, I need a way to combine. Well, that's called concatenation, and you would just need to use a plus sign. But I think this is the answer, because it requires a string it requires data of a string type. When using the random.range min.max, where min is an integer of 1 and max is an integer of 5, what are the possible values we can return? So if I remember correctly, min is inclusive and max is exclusive, and what that means is that for min it'll include whatever value you've assigned it to, while the value in max, it'll exclude that number minus up to the max minus 1. So in our case, if 5 is the max, then we only go up to 4. and if we start with 1, then it'll include it, so it'll only go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Which of the following is not true? When creating standalone PC Mac builds, it's always a good manners to provide players with an easily accessible way to quit the game. That's true. Using application quit pretty much does nothing when used in the editor. That's also true. Application.quit always needs to be connected to a button, and this is done using a public method. That's questionable, but I don't think it is necessary. You should play your game regularly as a standalone build, not just in the editor, in order to accurately see the experience your player will have. That seems true, so I think I'm gonna go with this one, because I don't think a button's the only way to kind of leave the game. You know, maybe we could have a list of options and not buttons, and then the user can highlight one of them and then quit the game. So I think it's this one, or sorry, this one. That's correct. We can call application.quit from a key press. Oh, yeah, that too. Or from conditions met in our code. It doesn't have to be a button press. So I think I got up to 9 out of 10. So what you should review. Look at 2 screenshots below. Yeah, they didn't say 3. They didn't do 3. They did right middle. Unless I skipped something. But alright, well, I guess, yeah. So let's continue. No. Looks like we're just gonna review what our recent project. Wow, check this out. Someone did this. Oh wow. So he just said that we need to use namespaces to access methods and other classes. And I'm glad that I understand like bits of what namespace does, because it sounds complex, even though I don't think it is. That it shouldn't be that complex. But I think like over time, like the more you program, you'll start to kind of connect the logic, I guess. So yeah. But I'm not used to it calling. I'm not used to calling them namespace. I just call them like classes, and I just import them to my project when I need them. But again, I'm still learning, so yeah. It feels kind of weird. It feels like because they're actually like, just like communicating with each other. It's not like I feel like it should have been more structured. I don't know. It feels like I'm watching a podcast. I mean, it's not bad. You know. Namespace versus libraries. I wonder why it's called a namespace. So I'm guessing it's just like a container of names that you can access to. So if it's a Unity namespace, we're essentially grabbing that Unity object in the container. Well, not an object, but like all of its like methods and variables and other objects within that, I guess. Welcome to Block Breaker. Oh wow. Essentially this is our next project. So that'll be interesting. I'm just gonna finish this video and I'm gonna end it for today. Collisions. Gravity. Oh, particle effects. Oh wow, 6 hours. Laser Defender. Alright, so the video is finished and I'm gonna end it here. Peace.